the off-Broadway production of Mind Mangler, A Night of Tragic Illusion, written by Henry Lewis, Jonathan Sayer, and Henry Shields. Directed by Hannah Sharkey and running through January 28th at New World Stages at 340 West 50th Street in New York City. It will then transfer to London for an upcoming run there as well. Help ease my mangled mind by becoming a patron over on my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support my show and my other projects. With arts media getting cut more and more from news publications, critics are resorting to more independent means of representation, depending upon their followers for help. So thank you everyone who have become patrons, and welcome to the new ones. This is the third Mischief production I've seen, having seen The Play That Goes Wrong and Peter Pan Goes Wrong. A much more stripped-down production, Mind Mangler features three characters: the Mind Mangler, played by Henry Lewis, the Stooge, or Steve, played by Jonathan Sayer, and Percy the Stage Manager, played by Bartley Booz. Of these three Mischief production pieces, Mind Mangler is a big step down in quality for me. I think this has to do with how the show is constructed. We, the audience, attend the mentalist magic show of the Mind Mangler, who suffers through the inept efforts of his stooge Steve to have a successful show. The problem is with comedic magic shows where, quote, mistakes happen, like with the magic duo Penn and Teller, for example, the mishaps are part of the misdirection for a larger bit of magic about to happen. We don't get as many payoffs that should be necessary to make the show feel fulfilling here. Yes, it is a Mischief production and mishaps are supposed to happen, but it's also a magic show, and the balance of humor from the mishaps have to have its magical payoff. Ironically, the show is based on a project originally conceived by the legendary magic duo Penn and Teller. The lack of payoffs from the mishaps leave this show frustrating to watch. There are some genuinely entertaining moments, like the Rubik's Cube trick at the beginning of Act 2, and some of the genuine mentalist tricks that happen, but they don't really feel elevated like, say, a Daniel Brown show who had his own Broadway show a few years back and performed some excellent mentalist tricks. The best trick is probably the guillotine trick, which has been done on Broadway. Back in the Scarlet Pimpernel, that magic trick is done. It's done really well in this situation, and done more comedically, and probably the best trick of the night. I get it, though. Henry Lewis and Jonathan Sayer are not lifelong magicians, illusionists, or mentalists, like, say, Penn and Teller or Daniel Brown or David Blaine or whomever. Their act would have to be simpler in order for them to pull off what they can, in order for the show to work. With only 3 people on stage at most at any given time, there is also a shortage of the chaos that occurs on stage in previous Mischief productions, which isn't as satisfying. Where Mind Mangler does succeed is with the audience interaction, something that became more pronounced in Peter Pan Goes Wrong. The audience, apparently of its own volition, the night I was in attendance, started to tease Mind Mangler in his efforts to get through his performance as mishaps kept happening. One of the gags is that whenever Mind Mangler says the word mind, an audio cue is supposed to hit so that it echoes. The audience ended up teasing him, giving the echo when the audio cues stopped working properly. At another point, Mind Mangler walks around and interviewed people to determine who filled out one of the cards given out at the top of the show where audience members write down a secret. Lewis is great with his banter with the audience and trying to figure out which person it is who had written that card. Mind Mangler isn't a bad show. It has an elementary concept of magic, which is entertaining to a degree, and if you have an appreciation for that, you should enjoy it. But in the grand scheme of Mischief shows and of magic shows, it's a little disappointing. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Mind Mangler, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be a link to my Patreon page where you can support my work. You can also support me by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Ms. Holmes and Ms. Watson, Apartment 2B at Playhouse on Park. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.